I swear, it's freaking disgusting. All right, so if you're watching the stream, then that's how you're gonna get the TA now. Everything else does not matter. Trader Max, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you, buddy. Can you hear me?
Wait, it works? My microphone
No, no.
works? What? So we got one thing working, man. This is freaking atrocious. All right, let's freaking stream this. Share screen. We're gonna do the TA. And that's what people are going to get. So let me screen share real fast. And boom, you guys already know how we roll. Guys, the total market cap of crypto is at 3.15 trillion. And we're at 3.06 now. So $100 billion has left the market since Wednesday, more or less, with our fear and greed index score lowering. So more fear coming. As we were rising in greed, we had hit the 30s. The important thing to also pay attention to is the altcoin season at 19. I think through emojis, we all had an agreement the other day. It's not altcoin season. It's not gonna be. It's break-even season that we're waiting for. I have submitted a bunch of reviews to CoinMarketCap and see if we can get break-even season to be written here, just for for the giggles of the space. But really, no altcoin season. If you thought altcoin season was coming this cycle, it came last year. Solana to 200, then Solana to 300. Ethereum barely gave us 5K. Sui $4, XRP $3. All these dead coins came back to life. Cardano, XLM, XRP, Tron. Look at these. Look at the top 20. Cardano still at 10th is just an embarrassment to the ecosystem that we have something that terrible, that not decentralized, just completely using us as exit liquidity. And by us, I mean you guys. I don't buy this trash. Bitcoin Cash, Hyperliquid, Chainlink. Just look at this trash that's in the top 20. All the vaporware that has promised us all kinds of something and haven't delivered really much, except Bitcoin, right? So you continue to see the store of value be the only thing that matters because everything else has just followed hype and has just used everyone as exit liquidity. From the TikTok people to the Instagram people, to the millennials, to the boomers, it doesn't matter what social group you came from, what age group you came from, you have just been used as exit liquidity nonstop. And it kind of shows you and why this market got super toppish, right? So we now know the health of the market isn't really good. We then go to the CME, BTC1 exclamation. That's the ticker for the CME. The other day on Wednesday's candle, we were rejecting the 21, and I kind of felt that. And I said, hey, I think there's a clip. Alex posted a clip. Shout out to Alex, our Brit homie right there. He's always posting clips and things that we say. But I was referring to the 21 EMA on the CME rejecting right on this candle here. And now you see just a double rejection over the last couple days. And we're heading towards the CME gap that has been left open. If you guys were longing at these points, I sure hope you saw green and you took green, because for now, it's looking like the CME gap is going to go get closed before we make any significant moves happen. The 50 EMA had already crossed under the 200, which we were waiting for, as Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin futures, everything had already happened there. The next thing that we were catching was on the 1 hour chart for Ethereum. Man, I should have just kept my short open, but I got a little short in on Ethereum. We were literally on these top wicks. We were live streaming on our TG, and we said, hey, this is the absolute perfect short for Ethereum. I closed at the 50 like an absolute pleb. I mean, hey, from here to there is about 60% of the move if you account for these wicks to the 200 EMA. I don't try to catch 100% of every move. If I can catch 60 to 80% of every move, then I'm going to just remain healthy, remain growing in my portfolio, and, it's just free money. One of the biggest issues that traders have, especially once they start obtaining a good-sized port of several grand, 5, 10, 20 grand, they start acting like $30, $50, $100 wins don't matter. The power of compounding interest is insane. As I continue to stack $50, $100 wins, a few times a day since Novex.finance was created. And the easy part is recognizing when we're overextended. I also did this TA with the zone, and I can go to the 4-hour chart so it looks better. And we TA'd this while we were there. We learned this on Wise Trade as we've all taken a course. A lot of people in the early days of Novex Finance, look out for those courses coming out again. But you notice that this false breakout was going to make people think that it was a breakout, but all it is a lower high when you compare it to the downtrend that it's on. Somebody else is joining. Let's go see who it is. Egon, Ghost. All right, we got the crew up in here now. Anyways, so on Ethereum, it was just kind of easy to see this short. And, the bad part is sometimes you should have a little bit more conviction. So if there's something I'm working on is setting my targets lower. I myself am trying to get better as a trader. But the reality is, if I use lower leverage, I can ride most trades. My degenerate ass uses 100x leverage. So I just see green. I take green, especially when it's blood that's giving me this green. You can't predict how much more or when it's going to come. We could have easily had a breakout at these levels. It didn't. So for people to just hold through all this, it's just kind of irresponsible, right? Because if you're looking at the percentages of trades, if you ride one from here and you close darn near the 200 EMA, that's a 7% move, right? So 7% to the 200. But if I go from this wick down to where we're at now, that's only a 10% move. So again, people trying to catch here to there, you can end up getting shaken out here and people close with a small win, and then the real move happens. So that's kind of what happened here. The market makers tend to punish people that enter at these levels, head down towards the 200 EMA, and don't take profits. They'll start giving them opportunities where people start DCAing at those levels, on their longs, right? Thinking that, okay, this breakout's going to happen. And then boom, they drop the hammer on them. So for me, yes, I closed at the 50, right? So I took my trade and I closed right around a 4.5%. 4.5 out of 7%. That's right around 60, 70%, right? Meaning I caught 60% of this whole move. I'm good with that. I don't always have to be desperate trying to catch everything. So that's a good lesson. And for those that caught the last stream on the inside the TG, this is what you got to see. Let's go back to the CME as the upcoming pain that we were waiting for looks like it's on its way. We're going to go to the 3-day chart, still holding on the 200. We already had all the bearish crossing happen. So now on the daily and 3-day, so we have to go to the next one, 5-day. So on the 5-day, this is where you start seeing that 21 heading under the 50. And that's where you start seeing that there's upcoming pain and reasons why we're holding on here. I believe I heard somebody else come up here. Yeah, Massimo. Yo, shout out to the sound that StreamYard actually does. Hey, bibbidi boppity. But anyways, just a little bit of information here. Someone's clicking pretty loud. Please don't do that. It's clicking in my ear pretty loud. Come on, guys. Anyhow, so CME 5-day on its way for more bearish crossing. So that's why you continue to see this down pressure is from these big time frame EMAs. The law of averages, man, we're heading down. It's a downtrend, and traders are going to more than likely start jumping in on these shorts once they see this cross happen. So before that cross happens, you see relief rallies like these. And all they're doing is just holding in those areas. So 5-day upcoming pain, daily. I'm sorry, I meant to click on the weekly. On the weekly, same thing, 21 heading under the 50. Look at this nasty inverse hammer candle here. You definitely don't like seeing that. Someone else just joined? No? Okay. Thought somebody else was joining. Gave me the sound. Anyways, all right. Hold on. Who is that?
It's
Who
my.
keeps damn it,
I'm
mute yourself. It's
Dude,
clicking in my
I even left and came back, and I still hear it.
man. That the only thing that pops is because I'm on my headphone. But anyways, okay. So weekly pain upcoming. Here's the chart that I've been keeping up with 2 weeks on a lot. And look, we're right on these levels of holding on to the 50 on the 2 week. Again, the 200 was just established. And a typical rule, once we lose the 21 after having it so long, you go 21 to the 200, back to the 21. So on the 2 week, it looks like that's what it's working its way of doing. Rejecting all these liquidity zones, leaving gaps open, closing gaps. This is just textbook stuff. So when I'm looking at the CME, it's really what I expected it to. On the monthly, just so we can get a quick little gander, that lines up with we're at the 21 EMA with twice below it. We're holding on at these levels, but for how long, right? And that's the dangerous part, that we are at a higher low. If we can hold on to this trend here that we've been on since the breakout, then maybe we have a shot. But if you look at like the trend that it's on, it's right here. And it's actually an actual trend. So you can notice that the CME just has a perfect little uptrend still. And when the real pain happens, that's when you're going to lose this trend. Like what I'm waiting for is this, right? Something like that, because all the other charts have already broken their trends on the monthly candle. Check out futures on the monthly, right? If you take this structure from here, there's no structure there. It already broke it because the structure on the same spot was here. You notice it broke through it. So it's trying to front run holding on here. And at the same time, it was front running heading to the 50 on the monthly. Monthly 21 EMA bounce, check. We knew that was coming. So we're holding on there. The important thing to look at is on the daily, it made this structure here. So for me, I like to predict where we're going. There's indicators, there's lagging indicators, there's all kinds of different types. I like to do what's called the predictive indicator, not where we're at, where we're going. So when I look at EMAs, when I look at all this stuff, I came up with a little, which is easy, on a daily time frame, which is bigger time frames. I got two perfectly scaled wicks. We need a third touch. We need a third candle here. So if you look at the chart, I did these little lines a few days ago. This is what I was looking at. Okay, we got a little bounce. Where are we going? So I like to draw these lines in advance, and you start kind of seeing it. No coincidence that once we get to these levels, it's easy to long. And once we get to these levels, it's easy to short, because you know the trend is still down. There's a trend here that it's trying to create, so it's bound to touch it. So if you just kind of look at these things and just remain, hey, I longed here, but I'm going to close there. I longed here, I'm going to close there. I longed here, I'm going to close there. Or I shorted here, I'm going to close at these levels, because you're seeing that it's creating higher lows on the immediate time frame. So you have to be able to pivot. You have to be willing to pivot. And typically you get amazing results when you understand these things. Because I understand these things, let me show you guys something that's going to be pretty cool. Because I understand these things, it allows me to close my shorts, right? So like when I shorted here at the top of that wick, I closed at the bottom of that wick, right? And then I opened another one, and it doesn't show, but my closer's right here. Here, let me see if I can get it to refresh. Yeah, look at that. You don't need to catch too much of the move, guys. All I know is I shorted there, and I frickin' closed here. I took out another $200 from this account, and now I'm up to almost 6,600. 6,600. You guys have witnessed this over the last couple of days. I was at $6,050, up 600, plus taking out a few hundred, just taking baby trades. Look at this. It's just nonstop. They call me the top wick bandit. Why? Because look at this. And you can see it on the bigger time frames. People can hide their entrances that way. Check this out. Look at this beautiful freaking play right here. I aped. I was down bad, so I DCA'd. I de-risked in profit. Freaking cooked that position. It ended up bouncing from here. So look, I just wait for the bounces to happen, and then boom, I start freaking running it. So I open here, close there. I opened the top of that wick. It pumped on me. I freaking aped twice, DCA'd out, and then fully took my profit at the 200 EMA right there. So then I just wait. The patience to understand that these are scam. Look, you don't just see me shorting. I've been talking about nonstop bear market action where every pump is going to be demolished. You would think that I just keep shorting these levels for hopium, right? Wrong. Look at that when I wait to frickin' short. Boom, 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 right? So the structure of closing your trades and really understanding that stems from the fact that I understand one thing. And that's that we're going to range sideways, but continue to head towards the downside. And the one thing that we are yet to do is test this big old dump. In order to really look at a healthy test, you want to test half of this wick, which we haven't done so. I believe we're heading down that way. It would confirm because it closes the CME gap on the daily that we have to the downside, right? It would confirm closing this. And it would just confirm testing this dump. We head to this level. Now we can start kind of ranging and maybe formulating a nice bottom, assuming 80K is going to be a good bottom for Bitcoin on this micro cycle. I'm not convinced. When I start looking at the bigger time frames on futures, like the monthly, losing the 21 is going to be detrimental. So the one we have to look at is on the 2-week. And then you see it. The 8 just crossed under the 21. That's what demolished that little run we were on. And now there is now a 2-week 200 on Bitcoin futures. It just got created. I'm under the conspiracy here that they created this just so they can go and get it. It's like people trade that 200 EMA, and this chart hasn't been traded forever. So on the 2-week chart, you see that little dab of purple there. That's just your EMA. But I can see a bounce followed by the downpour. That's what we're kind of hoping to catch here. Bitcoin dominance, everyone told you, whoa, Bitcoin dominance is going to retrace, and that's when the alt season market is coming. Yeah, when USDT is pumpy and dominance is dumpy, it's not going to the alts, it's going to dominance. You need USDT dominance to dumpy. You need Bitcoin dominance to dumpy. Then you can start being hopeful of your favorite vaporware of choice grabbing these moves. But it's not. It's been a Bitcoin only run. Bitcoin is the only thing, only down 20, 30% from its all-time high. Matter of fact, I believe it's Binance as well. Let me not take that away from them. We go to Binance real quick. Binance, it went to 1,300 or so. So yeah, it's approaching 40% off. So BNB is the next best with the retraces from those tops. So when I'm looking at Bitcoin dominance, there's a reason why it's holding on. And we got the bearish cross that we were looking for, the 21 under the 50. It did nothing. We're holding on to the ADMA. That just means that Bitcoin continues to get all the buys. Yeah, I can see this breaking down and heading towards bear market levels. Doesn't mean it's going to give you a run for alts. Anyways, just wanted to quickly, blitz through that one real fast. Now our favorite chart, Pumpy Dumpy. Oof. Nasty. When I look at the daily, man, the bounce off the lifetime trend, the big old bull flag. I mean, it was just so easy to tell these things. I've been kind of trying to warn y'all of all these things, right? So, you just kind of, like you look at where we're at, and as soon as we break out of this little pocket, ejectocito, cuz, your freaking bags are going to get freaking nuked. Like this, any way you look at this, it's really just telling you a lot more. Remember, I moved my when 3-touch line because it broke through it. My line was coming through here. It broke through it. That means it's not a perfect trend until we finish a candle solid on this trend and then reject there. I knew it wasn't over on that rejection. I was going to long the next dump simply because it needs to create a new trend, which is trying. It's going to go do it at some point. This is why we're trading sideways here. And the facts are that when you're above something, that average is going to go up. When you're below it, the average is going to go down. What does this chart need? The ADMA to go against it, not with it. So on the daily, they stopped the cross. One more bounce coming. If I start tracking my way down, go to the 12-hour, you'll start seeing indicators that were going to happen, and they didn't. We lost the 21. The 8 crossed under it, sent us down. And then this was the 4-hour 200. Check this out. I did that box at the 4-hour 200. Look at this beauty. Boom. We longed this chart with shorts both times. I did that live. Just, hey, free trades. Y'all seen all my closes and trades? If I invert this chart, you're going to see my closes line up with the, look at the 4-hour 200, and you look at my closes. It's literally the 4-hour 200. Check this out. I've been shorting that 4-hour 200 forever. Sorry about that, guys.
God bless you.
Thank you, sir. I love it when God blesses me, dude. It's just amazing. So anyways, back to the chart. So we want to look at like what's it losing, right? Well, it was losing the 12-hour everything. And then it said, nah, man. And guess what? The 8 is now about to cross over the 21. Oh, no. Maybe that's why we're pumping. Yeah, exactly. And that's why the market dumps. Because if you catch all these different time frames, you'll start noticing what's coming. Let's go to the 8-hour. It's going to look like this, but I bet you the 8 is going to be towards the 50 or below it. Watch this. Huh. I guess not. But all the bullish crossing happened. You see, we had lost it right here. The crossing happened. And then from there, we grabbed it and used all that bullish momentum on this chart to take it down. So if we go to the 6-hour, it's going to look similar. Yep, same thing. We were starting to lose all these crosses. All these crosses were happening to the downside, but all they were was liquidity grabbing. They can't get you more bearish unless they give you some runs. This little pumpy is a result of letting you have your lungs, right? Because on all these dumps, they keep shaking you out. Boom, they shake you out, right? So most people aren't longing these levels. And it's hard to because you see so much bearishness. So this is why I prefer to sit on my frickin' hands and wait for the absolute easiest of trades. People long all the time. For me, I want a trade that I'm 92 to 95% plus assured to winning. I get anywhere from 2 to 5 trades a day with those statistics. And I look for certain points. Like, for example, and I'm going to like get fun with this one. I'm going to show you on the 1 minute because like you got to like pay attention to these and understanding my swings and why I do them. So check this out. Here in this particular point, I mean, you guys witnessed these trades. I opened that wick, but why did I open that short? It was a lower high. Look, basic TA on the 1 minute. I'm like, yo, we're way above the EMAs. At the very least, I could have closed there at the 50, but instead, I used our indicators to just sit here and put a take profit at the 200 and look at these both times. Same thing. Why did I short here? Because this is a lower high than this wick, right? So these are easy shorts. If anything, I got mad that I didn't short this candle as well, but I didn't want to get greedy. I shorted here. I didn't close there. You guys saw, right? Here's where it gets beautiful. After I close this winning trade, this was my third trade live with y'all. I completely broke my rule here. Completely. You see this entrance right here? This was a higher peak than all those. So A, I just rushed into it. I was on live stream with all you guys, and I was just kind of happy. My dumbass was negative 100% right here, but because we're on cross and I was only firing small, I did some TA on the fly. And I'm just going back through it. And I did this TA on the 4 hour. This wasn't here yet. I looked at the zone, saw, I was like, oh yeah, we're right at those levels. I'm freaking taking a short, right? And that's where like the lesson really comes is I messed up here, but rather than taking my wound and closing my trade, I kept it open because of the 4 hour 200. And in doing so, right, I was able to rescue my position. And I'm going to show you guys something, because this is where it got fun. Because I did that on the fly with you guys. Those of y'all that were watching. Hold on. Let me go back and find it. My bad, guys. Right here. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys how to use this information. I shorted, I added, and look at this. My average price was right around like up here. When I saw that we came here, you guys saw me. I closed half of my trade, which essentially was me closing this terrible trade that I saved here. I was down 100%. DCA'd only down 50%. I was in profit about 40% by the time I closed here. Closed half, then just waited. Now look, this thing hit my target. I closed under the 200. It went a little lower. That's fine. I don't get greedy. Yeah, you can keep shorting. Yeah, but those are 90+% moves. I'm waiting for breakouts. Look, I don't do anything. Nothing. Let it go down. Let it go up. It doesn't matter. I want for sure trades. Okay, it's starting to break out. And you guys just start seeing like the way I trade is with patience, right? I trade with discipline. I trade with portfolio management. Look at when I finally got in on the trade. I avoided all this, guys. And then I saw this breakout and I remembered, wait, I entered these areas and got cooked over here, right? Like I entered those areas and got cooked on that next leg. What did I do this next time? Beautiful, isn't it? Next legs, don't matter. Look at my short. Are you going to sit here and tell me, like, I can't hide this data, guys. You see my entrance. Top wick bastard. And then look at the patience. Oh, man. Easy money. Boom. Look at this. I even felt bad about this close. Let me tell y'all why. When I put my take profit here, I expected the 200 to go up towards that level. So I predicted the 200 was there. It wasn't. A little lower. But let's look at the percentage of how much of that move that I got. It's so freaking beautiful. I don't know how to use a measuring bar on Novex yet. I'm going to have to look at the hotkeys for that one. But anyways, if you look at here to the 200, man, I caught 90% of that bad boy, right? Look how beautiful it is. Do I enter again? Let's wait and find out. No reason to. I already took the move. I already missed the move all the way to the downside. My patience. This is what I want to highlight for all my boys here, all my girls here, because I know there's a couple girls. But my patience, walking away, just kind of letting all this crap happen, you know? And like, you look at the when I finally entered the trade, my bad, I missed it. Hold on, let me show you guys. Where is it? Because I closed the trade. Let me find it. somewhere right here. Okay, I'm going to do this. Get the chart bigger. Doesn't show my trade, but I know I got into a trade. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, here it goes. So I entered right there, guys. You see it? Okay, check this out. Look at this discipline. I was like, yo, I keep missing the 200. I closed it over here. Right there. See? I knew it was going to go lower than the 200, so I closed there. Again, did I catch all of it? No. But I don't care. My job is not to catch all of every move, and I wanted to give a little shout out to Hermit. Not sure if he's here. Give a shout out to Ghost, Andrew, because I've been asking, yo, what do you think? Should I trade this? I should hold on to it. Everyone keeps telling me, you know what happens when you get greedy? And I'm 100% trading on Novex for the last 3 months. Thank you, guys.
Hey, winning's a team sport sometimes.
Well, it is because you guys truly keep me disciplined. I ask you questions sometimes just to figure out if we're on the same page, and we go from there. For those of us looking at Ethereum, because this is the front run that was happening, remember? On the daily, we were way above the 50 when nobody else. Look at Ethereum now. Below its 21 on the daily. Look at futures on the daily. Below the 21. Look at futures. Below the 21. Look at Solana. Below the 21 and 8. Man, oh man, did I not give you the easiest gap in the world to just completely take. You're welcome. Ethereum had a value gap that I knew these scumbags were using us as exit liquidity. When I called the 1 hour short, it wicked right to the daily 200. And then look at the hour. On that wick, it was right at the daily 200, and it was just easy to take that money. Again, I'm weak sometimes. I only took this. Should have taken the rest. Either way, you're freaking welcome. I keep giving y'all bangers. Wise Trade keeps giving y'all bangers. Wise Trade to help teach you guys how to do these zones. Look at these zones. Short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long. Right? It's just extremely easy to play your zones. And I did this on the perps chart. Right? The ticker. The weekly pain's coming. And you just see all these things happening. So anyways, when it comes to these charts, you can be ahead of them. I have the proof. You can go and see the trades on Novex. I mean, I have 3 wallets, but my main wallet is this one. And it's tracked so you guys can all really just see how easy it is to really trade when you have the hardest thing in the world to take advantage of. Patience. So as we get ready to head into our daily, activities and whatever it is you guys want to do, remember one thing. There's opportunities for us nonstop. It's a matter of who's going to want to take advantage of those things. And those that have patience, understanding, and discipline are going to take advantage of all the free money that's presented to you. So there's almost 400 people watching this. No one has probably told you this. You have to have extreme discipline as a trader, because as long as you're making money, doesn't matter how much, you're making such a huge gainer in comparison to other financial instruments that you can use to make money, that it's such a cheat code. A couple weeks back when we first started Novex, I was telling Ghost, it's like, dude, Ghost, I love that you're trading with the sizing that you're trading, because he was hitting positions to make $100-$300, not trading, not going for broke. And I was like, damn, dude, you know what I love about that, Ghost? And it dawned on me. You keep trading, making small amounts, Do you know how much money I have to have in my bank account for the bank to give me a free $25 every month? He wasn't able to answer that because it's crazy. You need over 100 grand, bro, just so you can get $20, $30, $40 for free every month. I do that daily, nonstop, by trading $50, $100, $200 positions and closing 30, 50, 80, 100% positions, rinse and repeat, nonstop. So I'm trading with $100 and earning the amount of money that it takes $250,000 for me to have. Yeah, that's the real alpha. Compounding interest. Don't be afraid to just keep stacking W's no matter how small they are. Many of y'all have wins and you know it's about to reverse, whether you're long or short, and you hold on to it because you're saying, well, that's barely enough to cover my fees and I'm only going to make $8. Bro, I was making $8, $12, $14 in the bear market. That ended up being a 30x because Solana, when I was buying one Solana, $10, $12, $14, $18, I was being made fun of, guys. Absolutely being made fun of by people because they're like, oh, Clutch is a poor. He's only made, he's trading peanuts. Since I started trading, I don't even want to tell you how much I've made, but I've made enough to live a healthy, comfortable, retired life. I don't have to use my business money to pay my bills. I don't have to take out from my portfolio to pay my mortgage. I keep growing my port because I understand the one thing that matters: discipline, portfolio management, and knowing when to execute. If you work on all those things, I promise you your life is going to be much better. Your trading life is going to change your life because it's going to grant you the thing that most people cannot do, and that's make money on command. Oh, I want to get on a trade. Let me log on to Novex Finance. Boom, baby. This is how easy it is to do it. Like here, as we're scaling and rejecting, this is looking like a good long setup. But for me, because we're on a downtrend, I'll rather wait. I'd rather short the 3-minute 200. Why long here when I can just short at a level that I know for sure it's free monies? Like all these different things are just continuing to pay up. You see, and I don't want to long because the 30-minute 50 is going under the 200 soon. On the 1 hour, oh man, the 8 crossed the 200. The 21 and 50 are coming. If I look at the 2 hour, 4 hour, everything's looking the same. Look at all this bearish crossing coming. I ain't trying to long with danger. If that's what you want to do, then go right ahead. But ultimately, protect your portfolio and you give yourself a chance at a better life. This was Trade Talk powered by Novex Finance. Order in the court, built by Orderly One and brought to you by traders for traders. There isn't a better place to trade. There might be equally effective places to trade, but the winning edge goes to what we provide for our traders. Constant live streams, constant action, constant trades, constant protection. No one protects you better than what we do. Why is that? Because we truly care. So if you bring your volume over to Novex, just know that we're going to be there for you. We're going to stream. We're going to give you trades. But most importantly, we're going to nag at you if you're a bad trader. We don't want you to be a bad trader. I look at trades sometimes. I look at wallets that are losing. I find out who they are, and I go help them. You won't get that at any other DEX. There's a reason why I was hired by Orderly One, and that's to bring community establishment to those people that need it the most. Traders that are on their journey to becoming a trader. Don't be used as eggs of liquidity and keep winning. So next time your dad or your mom or anyone that knows you're in crypto hits you up and goes, "Are you winning, son?" Your answer is simply going to be, "Of course, I show up to Trade Talk."
Does the day end in Y?
Of course I'm winning.
Exactly, baby.
Nice work, babe.
They don't understand discipline till they meet clutch. Forest quiet, mind louder than Wall Street noise. Trade talk leave, choose no cap. Seeing me gap, we waiting on that. Forest Wi-Fi, but the signal exact. Quan so clean that we cannot react. Tell you the pain, not the dream. Give you the numbers, not the meme. Coming in clutch as a team. Portrait of cold, my supreme. Yeah. Trade talk leave, true no cap. Seeing me gap, we waiting on that. Forest Wi-Fi, but the signal exact. Quan so clean that we cannot react. Yeah, tell you the pain, not the dream. Give you the numbers, not the meme. Coming in clutch as a team. Horse of the cold, mind supreme. Clutch in the wood, laptop glow. Chickens out back, out fun in the snow. He raise it what he eats, that's golden crow. Kills him clean, burritos on go. Gotta climb my sharp like a guillotine. Seeing me gap, feel routine. He don't chase green, he measure the mean. Marcus bleed, he wipe it clean. Whispers of trays like war drum chains. Whole block watch like it's finance dance. If you can't stomach, true, stay off the call. He'll break your delusions, one flip at a time, y'all. Trade talk leave, true no cap. Seeing me gap, we waiting on that. Forest Wi-Fi, but the signal is that. Quan so clean that we cannot react. He'll tell you the pain, not the dream. Give you the numbers, not the meaning. Coming in clutch, that's the team. Horse of the cold, mind supreme. Yeah, I coast but I rugged raw. Chaos theory, that's K-Law. That in my beard, shadows in my file. Rug your heart just to test your style. Block don't talk, I just measure decay. See me gap like a debt we pay. Charts don't lie, but the crowd might sway. If clutch call silence, I obey. In the forest, plotting ticks and traps. Sunset red light, liquidation maps. Alpha so deep, it come with collapse. But real ones wait, no panic slap. Coming in close, where logic meets light. Where burritos and bases, points both cut like knives. Where truth hurts more than the chart itself. But pain's just proof that you're playing with well. Trade talk live, true no cap. Seeing me gap, we waiting on that. Forest Wi-Fi, but the signal exact. Quan so clean, every cannot react. He'll tell you the pain, not the dream. Give you the numbers, not the meme. Coming in clutch, that's the team. Horse of the cold, mind supreme. Trade talk live, true no cap. Yeah, yeah. Trade talk live, true no cap. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Trade talk live, truth no cap.
Truth, no cap.
Seeing me gap, we wait.
Seeing me gap,
No nap.
we head there, baby.
Forest Wi-Fi, but the signal is at. Quan so clean, every candle react.
All right, guys, for the 400 plus watching live and the couple thousand that we had overall that listened to this, get better. No one's going to hold your hand for you. We'll help you, but we won't hold your hand. Take some affirmative action. Put in the work necessary. I'm in over 1,000 hours mastering trading. Why? Because I love free money.